Hello everyone!
What's good?
Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are so excited to let you guys get to know us and just come along on this journey with us. We're really excited to get started. And thank you so much for all of the support already and love that you guys have shown us. Tell them what we're going to be doing today.
Alright, today we're going to be giving you food for the soul, guys. That's what we're doing. We reached out on social media and we asked everyone just to ask us questions. We're doing a Q&A, allowing people to get to know us and understand who we are. And so thank you guys for your questions.
You guys sent the best questions. They're all really great. We're excited to answer them.
We definitely are. So I guess with that, let's go ahead and dive in.
Okay. So a great first question is, what will be the basis goal of your YouTube channel together moving forward? And this question is from @Shayna
Thank you, Shayna Saray.
Okay, do you want to answer this or do you want me to answer?
I guess I'll start. Okay, so the basis and the goal of this YouTube channel, ultimately, I think ultimately is to give God glory. You know, we really want this channel to be a tool for us to be able to reach the masses. You know, we understand that as a young Christian couple, it can be a struggle living in this society, and I think we want to be able to just share our journey, not necessarily like, you know, tell people what to do or, you know, portray that what we're doing is right, but, you know, that we're just sharing what we're going through and you know, showing you all what we're experiencing. You know, we want you to kind of join on in that journey with us.
Absolutely. He pretty much gave you guys a great answer, but I think we're just wanting to bring our authentic and genuine selves here. You know, we're not here to show you a highlight reel. We're going to be true to who we are and what we believe, and we're just excited to, like Reggie said, glorify God in each time we video, every time we post, anytime we interact with you guys. We want to make sure that it's always giving God the glory, and just making sure that He is the center of everything that we're doing with this channel. So that really is our focus, and just bring you guys along on our life. We do a lot of fun things together, and I think it'll be great to show you guys some of that.
Thanks, well said. All right, the next question. How did y'all learn each other's love language? Okay. Did y'all sit and have a discussion, or were there things over time that each of you did to learn it? Good question. And that was from @A_Simone.
Yes.
Thank you, @A_Simone.
Thank you very much for your question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so with learning each other's love language, we did actually take a quiz. And I'd taken it before, and then we decided to take it together, and it did allow us to see, okay, this is each of our first love languages, this is the one that's next, and this is the one that follows. So it allowed us, I mean, we already know each other pretty well, and I'd say we did this at the very beginning of our relationship, but it just allowed us to see, okay, as a person, you know how you receive love. So just taking that test is a great way to affirm that and say, okay, like I, for example, had quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. And Reggie's was quality time, acts of service, and then physical touch as well, right? So it just shows you how to show that love to your partner, because obviously you love your significant other, but it's a whole nother thing to love them the way they need it. And learning about that is really essential in showing that person that you care. Would you say so?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything to add on to that, I don't think. Like she was saying, we learned how to love each other the way we needed to love. And so I think it's important to understand that part, because no matter how much you love someone, you can't always convey it the way you want to if that person is not able to receive it that way. You know, if you only know how to show love by giving gifts, and your partner doesn't necessarily like receiving gifts like that, not going to feel love the way you feel like you're giving it. And so I think that was important for us to learn early on. And I think we've done a pretty okay job.
We have
of doing that. So
yeah. Okay, so the next question is also from Shayna Story again. She sent us a lot of good questions, so a few of these are going to be from her. She says, now that you two are engaged to be married, what do you guys feel like is your purpose or calling together from God?
Yeah, this one's a little bit deeper question, but a great question nonetheless. I think really our calling, it's kind of hard to say at this time. I feel like we're just like at the very beginning, at the genesis of our relationship, and it's hard to say like what our calling is as a couple. I think we have our own strengths together, and I think that we complement each other well, but I guess if I had to put it under one word, I think that our calling would probably just have to be ministry in general. I think with that, comes a lot of things, and I think when we hear ministry, we might think of like church, in the pulpit,
being pastors or ministers.
Which, and I'm not to say that that's like out of our future, but I think that it can be a multitude of things, and I think that this platform and this channel is a form of ministry. And so,
it is.
Yeah.
I feel like God has planted a lot of seeds in us already. And He's shown us little glimpses here and there of what may be to come. But like you said, we're really not sure yet. We're really just, listening for God's voice and direction as we continue sharing with you guys. So just keep us in your prayers on that. But we're definitely listening for what He wants us to do as far as our purpose and calling.
Cool. All right, next question.
What advice would you give couples out there looking to have a God-centered relationship? That's a really good question. I'd like to answer if that's okay.
Okay.
So I think that to have a God-centered relationship, it starts with your own journey with God, seeking Him, really looking to get to know Him, and the more you grow on your journey with God, which we're never done, we're always growing, we're always seeking Him more, but I think that as you begin to do that, you can begin to pray for the person God has for you, that they would be on that same journey as well, that God would prepare you for that person, that just as you seek Him, that you trust Him, that you're gonna find that person, and then you guys will have a God-centered relationship because you already did that work on your own.
Yeah, I think that's all very true, and I think that's kind of what we experience as a couple. To share just a tad bit of our story, I won't go into all the details, but I would say a significant part of it was that we both had to find Christ like for ourselves and learn to seek Him in our personal lives, and then from that we were able to establish a solid foundation, because we kind of started doing that at the same time, I would say. And then from then we were able to cultivate a relationship out of that and from that. And so I think in having a solid foundation, a Christ-centered foundation in our relationship, it really allowed for us to grow deeply within each other, and I think it strengthened our relationship as a whole.
Yes, I think so too. Okay, so this question is from Shayna Saray again. It says, what is your favorite memory together?
Favorite memory together. We might have different answers, or we might have the same answer. I don't know.
I feel like he's gonna say the same answer as me, but it's okay.
Okay.
Go
well, I think my favorite memory, and maybe my most significant memory, one thing we like to do is we like to have picnics together.
We love it.
I think picnics are a significant part of our story, and so we've had 3 so far. And the second one might be my favorite memory because I think for a lot of different reasons, without that picnic, well, I won't say we wouldn't be here today because we would, but I think that picnic, that sounds so dramatic, but I think that picnic was like a really, I think it was a significant catalyst, I would say.
It was. Yeah. It really was. Like, we peeled back so many layers in that time. Like, we went out there at what, 8 p.m.? We were trying to catch a sunset, but we were making food and it took a little longer than we thought. So we didn't go out there till 8 and we didn't leave until 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So we had a lot of time to just talk, and we talked about things we've never even discussed before. And it was just, okay, I'm taking over your answer. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I felt like it was so much confirmation from God in some of the things that we talked about, some of the topics that we discussed, and we really, like, I just felt His presence that night. Like that, would you say the same?
Yeah, I would think so. I think that moment, you know, I think emotionally we were able to go to a deeper level spiritually. It was just nice. We were just kind of out there under the stars, getting ate up by mosquitoes.
Ate up. But we didn't even care.
No, we didn't. We really didn't. And we were praying together, just having some conversation about our future and about our lives and our goals. And these are things, I mean, we had kind of like talked about before, but never really all at one time. We covered so many different topics about our futures, you know, that night. And I think that was probably very significant.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, a significant night for us. So.
All right. So obviously we have the same favorite memory.
Facts. Next question. How important was it to both of you all that consistency was shown from both parties? And that's from @Mike_Gun12.
Shout out.
Appreciate you. Shout out, Mike. But yeah, I think that was something that, I mean, with any relationship, you're gonna want consistency.
Yes.
And that's definitely something you're gonna see on up and down your timeline. Like consistency, like it's something that people obviously want, but in practice, it's obviously not as easy as it might sound.
The thing is it's easy, but it takes consistent accountability to yourself and effort. Like, you would just want to keep in mind that the consistency that you want to be shown, you need to be giving out as well.
Yeah. And I guess when I say like, you know, it doesn't, or I guess it's not that easy or whatever I said. I don't know. But I guess what I mean to say is that it takes effort. Like it doesn't happen just organically necessarily, or it doesn't just happen automatically, I should say. It is something that you have to put effort in. But when you love someone and you understand what they want to see from you, it does become easy.
I think, you know, when you love someone, you want to give them that consistency. You don't want them wondering and guessing, like, you know, why are they acting like this for 3 weeks and then all of a sudden they're a different person or they're changing up their communication. I think when you love someone and you're really ready to be serious, you take that effort to be consistent, because, I mean, love is not inconsistent.
Yeah. And I think, you know, a huge part of, I have to chill there. I think that a huge part of consistency is communication. I think they go hand in hand, but I think, you know, having a consistent form of communication is actually very key, because that's something I had to learn, I would say, because naturally I was single for a long time, and so I was kind of used to do my own thing and not really having to practice that form of communication. Like, I knew it was important, but, you know, doing it in practice is completely different. And so I kind of had to learn that being with her and just understanding what she needed from me. And from then, I think I've tried to make it a point to like over communicate and really let her know what's on my mind and what's going on, just so she doesn't have to wonder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as the other person on that end, you should never be afraid to speak out about what you need. I think in our society, it's a people should know kind of thing, but I don't think so. Like, I think that expectations are the quickest way to disappointment, especially if you've never conveyed that to someone. Like, you're setting them up for failure. So I think communicating what you need, what you expect, what makes you feel valued and appreciated is something that you should do. It's okay to do that. It's okay to say what you need. And then you give your partner the opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. Communication is definitely a two-way street, right?
Absolutely.
You communicate what you want, and then on the other end, that person communicates back to you, what you need to hear. So. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How does it feel to marry your best friend? By the way, I can't wait to subscribe at Cosmic B. That's Destiny. Thank you very much.
Shout out. I think it's really hard to put it into words. The way she asked that question, I don't know. I guess I've never heard it asked that way before, but it feels, unreal, honestly. Like, I think we've grown. Well, first of all, I think we've known each other for a while, so we've been friends for a while, but we've become friends on a different level now. And when I say friends, I mean, it doesn't feel like, anything like so contractual, like this is my fiance, I love her, the way she, it feels like, this is, my best friend. This is someone I can spend every moment with and be happy. This is someone that, I can do anything with and enjoy it. And I think it goes both ways. Like, she wants to do things that I enjoy, and I want to do things that she enjoys. And I think that's really ultimately what friendship is about, understanding what each other wants, things like that. So just finding that in somebody and feeling that energy reciprocated is pretty unreal, and it's pretty sobering and humbling, and it makes me feel thankful and blessed, really. All right, next question. All right, we got a few of these, quite a few, and it's kind of a very obvious question.
Yes, this was a popular question.
Yeah, but it makes sense why, obviously. But this one is from Lauren Ann 73, and she asked, "How did you guys meet?" And she said, "Can't wait to watch your video, sister."
She said that because we are sisters and rangerettes.
Yes. But so, how did we meet? We met on Fry Street in Denton at a place called Crooked Crust, a little pizza spot.
What year was that in?
That's 2016.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's 2020 now, so 4 years.
Yeah.
But yes, we made it that pizza spot, and then what happened?
Okay, so we met in Crooked Crust, and okay, I saw Reggie, and I saw him wearing a jacket, and so I came up to him and I was like, "Hey, like, what is that on your jacket? What does it mean? What is it about?" And so we kind of cultivated a conversation from there, and it really was just as simple as that. Like, that was our first interaction with each other. Of course, I thought he was cute, because he is. But from there, I feel like we just started running into each other. Like, maybe we'd already been running into each other and we didn't know it. But because we'd had that interaction and conversation together, I felt like I just kept seeing him after that.
Yeah. The jacket she's talking about, my line jacket. I'm in a fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out, to my brothers out there. But yeah, so she was asking me about that, and from there, like she said, we ran into each other a few different times, and we kind of had started, our friendship, I guess you could say, from there. But it actually really took off when one of our friends, actually I moved next door to one of her best friends, Kanisha, and things really took off from there, seeing her around.
But we will tell this whole story on another video.
Yes. The next question, it's not really a question, but it says food. Let me see how y'all make it, and that is from @Summertez.
Yes, that's my friend Ty.
Okay, so yes,
we will show you guys how we make our food.
Michelle, not this time, but yeah,
we make food all the time.
Yeah,
every single weekend we're cooking something.
Yes, absolutely, that's one
probably multiple things.
Yeah, if cooking was a love language, I think that would be part of it.
We speak it fluently. Okay, how did you and Reggie keep the sparks flowing in your relationship? @_Chizzy.
Shout out @_Chizzy.
Go Chiefs.
Yes, go Chiefs, Chiefs Kingdom. I think we are both intentional about trying different things with each other, different activities. I think that really helps us feel like this whole thing is still new by like discovering new things together. Like I would say the picnic idea was something that was a different spark to our relationship, and it turned into something bigger than what we even could have anticipated.
I would say us cooking together, we were just talking about this in the last question, but us cooking together really helps keep the spark going. I don't know, something about cooking together in the kitchen with the music playing, like sometimes we'll start slow dancing together. It's just sweet moments like that to me that make me like get those butterflies and just feel so loved.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's I think when it comes to the sparks and everything, I think the intentionality is key.
And let's just be clear here. We're still new in our relationship, so the sparks really are already there without us trying.
Yeah.
We're not naive to think that it will always be that way, so being intentional is very important.
Yes.
So this question is from @Kylie R. McKinnon, and she says, I want to hear his story leading up to the proposal, day of, surprising you, etc. And listen, I'm excited to hear this question too. So go for it.
Oh man, okay. All right, next question. How hard is or was it waiting on God? When did you know when He was saying go? And that is from @Kyla Renee. Shout out to Kai. But that's actually a great question, and it's a great question, and I think it's hard to answer because there's so many little things that God was telling me and throughout the process, as far as like when was the right time. We had been dating for a year and 3 months. Yeah, a year and 2 or 3 months at that point. So, and we had known each other again for a couple of years prior. And so throughout that time, like really for me, I had known that I wanted to marry her, or that she was the type of person at least that I wanted to marry before we even started dating. Because we had gotten to know each other on a good enough level, and I had gotten to know her well enough that I was like, okay, yeah, this is the type of person I need to marry. When I say like she checked all the boxes, like that's an understatement. Like she made her own boxes and started checking those off as well. Like I'm for real, y'all. Like that was when I knew that I need to go ahead and wife this girl before somebody else does. So I knew from that point, like that was what it was. And so at that point, it was just the right time. And honestly, I wish I could tell you, what was a signal that was like telling me this is the right time. But I think everything really just happened so organically. Throughout the process. God just kept dropping little hints along the way. And when you're looking and listening for his voice, you'll start to understand what it sounds like. And at that point, I had been praying for direction. I think that's a key part of it is, praying for a certain thing. And when you're praying for a certain thing, then God will start to answer your prayers in the way that you need to, whether he's telling you, yes, you need to go ahead and move forward this way or that way. He'll tell you that. Or if it's not for you, then he'll start removing things or moving things in your way or in the way of whatever you're asking for, to say, no, it's not time yet, or no, I have something better planned for you. So for me, it was just understanding. I knew at that point that this is what he wanted me to do. So I just kind of was following his direction along the way. And eventually, after that picnic, that was a huge part of it. Like us praying together, I think was a huge part of it. And then all the little things that fell up together so perfectly in those following weeks. That was a huge part of it for me.
Okay, I would like to answer the question as well. So with Reggie, anyone that meets him, like, you just know that he has a heart of gold. You can see his character, just a great person that he is. So when Reggie and I started dating, it did not take very long for me to fall in love with him and to know, like, okay, this is rare. The person that this is, the heart that he has, we don't see this often. So I was like, God, you've given me this blessing. I want to take care of it. I want to love him correctly. And of course, I want to marry this person down the line. Like, you just meet Reggie and you see the great person that he is. And I don't know anyone that wouldn't want to marry Reggie. So yes, waiting on God to say go, or waiting for the right time, was challenging, because I was like, oh my gosh. And of course with Reggie and I, marriage was always a part of the conversation. Like, it was never one of those things where it's like, where's his head at, or where's my head at? We both knew that we were dating seriously and that marriage was in our future. So it really was just a matter of trusting God, number one, because I've been in so many situations where I've rushed something that God, was preparing for me, and I have messed it up. So I wanted to make sure that I was showing God, I trust you, I have faith that your timing is what's right, that you know how to be God better than I do. And it really was a journey for me. Like, it's not that I was outwardly pressing Reggie on it. It was more of like an inward thing. Like, I know that this is what I want. I know that this is something that we talk about. Like, Lord, when is it going to happen? And I'm not the most patient person in the world. So it was just, it was amazing to see God reveal it all on his own, through prayer and just trusting him. It honestly couldn't have happened any better. So I want to be very honest with that question and say it was hard waiting on that. But it happened exactly as it was supposed to, when it was supposed to. And I know that when God says yes to something, there's no one that can say no. So I know to wait on his timing, and that's just what's going to be best for us.
Yeah. Okay, last question.
Most important question.
Debatable. But the last question is from @LilMiss_Angie95, aka Angela.
Shout out.
Shout out, Ange. But she asked, who's the better cook? She said, I know y'all cook together, but pick.
This is a hard question because we really do cook together most of the time.
We do. We really do try to tag team in the kitchen as much as possible. Like, hey, you want to slice the veggies, or hey, you want to turn on the meat, you want to season the meat, whatever the case is. And
we're a great team together.
Yeah, because I think we can really do them interchangeably. But for me, I will go ahead and say that that Taylor is a better cook. Just because I think she's a little bit more experienced with cooking than I am. I think before we like got together, you were already cooking, and for me, I didn't really start cooking until we got together or when we started talking. You know?
I feel like I seem to be the better cook just because I'm more concentrated on the cooking.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like Reggie is just as good at cooking, but he gets more distracted than I do. So more accidents happen. Like, I'm constantly looking, changing, flipping things, like, as a precautionary measure. So Reggie, when he's cooking, he's so chilled and relaxed, which is a great thing. It's helpful for me. But he...
my ADHD kicks in, and I might be on my phone, or I might be like trying to change the song or something like that, and meanwhile the potatoes will be burning, or you know, the meat be getting a little too charred. So
that's why we're a great team, though, because I'm there to be, you know, looking at that stuff. But the flavors really come out best when both of our hands are involved.
I can agree with that.
So that's the last question.
That's the last question. Hey, thank you guys for all your questions. Thank you guys for kind of going on this journey with us and being willing to ride along with us. We really appreciate your input and all your questions and all your support. We're truly, truly thankful for each and every one of you.
So thankful. And this is truly just the beginning. Please, in the comments below, tell us the kind of videos you'd like to see, any kind of content that you'd like to see from us. We would love to get to know you guys on a deeper level. You got to hear some questions from us, and we want to get to know you guys just as much.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much. We look forward to hearing what you have to say. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Much appreciated. Tell your friends.
Like this video.
Like the video. Share it with everybody. Tell your family, friends, whatever. But again, thank you all so much, and we'll catch you next time.
More to come.
That was lame. I think we just need one person 20.
Okay, let's redo it.
No, we don't have to. We can do it. But thank you guys so much.